But I just want the New Rich Nation to just realize if you are not where you want to be financially, the number one thing you got to fix first is your mindset.
For sure.
It's not your sales. It's not your strategy. It's not your clientele. It's not your offer. It's not your course. It's not your membership. It's not none of those things. It's your mindset.
Man.
Because success starts on the inside of you, right? Your mind have to be rich first before your money can be rich. Your mind have to be expanded first before your bank account can expand. So when I look back from us struggling and, having financial issues to not living in financial abundance, but the one thing that changed was our mindset shifted.
Totally.
Hello, New Rich Nation. Welcome to another episode of the New Rich Podcast. This is the number one podcast for entrepreneurs and creators where we help you with building your personal finance, personal freedom, so you can live the life of your dreams. If this is your first time, don't let it be your last time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with 5 other friends so that they too can glean from this great information that you're about to hear. So I am the host of the podcast. I'm Uyi Abraham. And yes, my co-host,
Dr. Faith Abraham. Hello, New Nation.
Awesome. We're really excited for you being here today, and we have a great episode and great topic to get into.
Yes.
But before we do that, how was your day and how's your week and what's new with you?
Oh, man. This month of March is a traveling month.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of traveling. Within a month, I've been to 2 different states. I'll be going out of the country and a road trip for the kids.
Wow. So where are you going to be going to? Where are you flying to?
Flying to London. I'm trying to say it like that guy says it. That Nigerian producer, London. On the beat. So I'll be going to London for a women's empowerment event. And it's going to be specifically in the, I hope I'm saying this right, Wales, Bristol area.
Okay.
Yeah, because, people are always like, oh, I'm going to London. That's cool. Where?
What part? Right?
Yeah, what part? There's so many different, that's like someone saying, oh, I went to Atlanta. Okay, where in Atlanta? Because it's so big. Or I went to LA. Okay. So it'll be a 2-day event, but I'll be staying a little bit to just frolic around with my friends, with my mates.
Okay.
See that accent coming through? So it'll be good. How about you? How's your week going?
It's been busy. We just finished commencement ceremony.
Woo-hoo!
Springs for Higher Place Christian University.
Yes,
if you
HBCU representing.
Awesome. HBCU proud. If you don't know, Dr. Faith and I, we're also founders of an accredited Christian university called Higher Place Christian University, where you can earn degrees from bachelor's, master's, doctorates and courses and certifications and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a really big ceremony. It was amazing.
Big, and it really was amazing. And the atmosphere in the place was it was high energy, charged up. Everyone was excited and looking forward to, what was on the agenda. That's how I felt. Like it was just an excitement. And then when the ceremony was over, people didn't even leave.
They didn't want to leave.
They did not. I was like, wow, what time is it? Oh, looking at my watch, like, I think we should go eat now.
Yeah.
Because we were hungry, but the conversation, also the networking.
Yeah.
When people invite their friends and family and loved ones, you never know who's going to walk in. So it's always fun. I love meeting new people. So it's always fun. And it was just an amazing time. You did a great job, Presidents.
Thank you. I always feel good when you give me that affirmation and give me my flowers.
Yes, I am proud of you because we started in 2010.
Yeah, and you just told me to stop saying it as 2010.
Yeah,
2010.
2010, because you got to feel it, you get.
I see.
So 2010, and when we started, I always imagined and envisioned that it would get big, but seeing it big and it in real time, in real life, it just does something to you. So I'm proud of you for having the vision, for executing, for keeping the fire going and helping other people obtain their degrees.
Thank you so much. That's just been the goal and the dream, to help people to earn a degree to their name. And like what we say in Higher Place Christian University, everybody deserves to have a degree to their name. So it's just been part of that dream, and to see thousands of students that have graduated since 2010 is just amazing. But I think on a personal note, though, I think I need to get better at just kind of reflecting on my own success as well.
Absolutely.
Because I'm so driven and I'm so ambitious. I'm so, concerned about what's next. That sometimes I don't take enough time to try to understand and appreciate what I've already accomplished and my successes, So I think I need to kind of get better on that. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think ambitious people have that problem because somewhere in our mind, we're told, if I slow down and appreciate myself, then I'm not going to be motivated or I won't have the drive to continue. But it's actually the opposite, because when you start seeing, I did accomplish this. I accomplished that. It actually boosts up your confidence and it gives you more fire to see more of your dreams and your visions come to pass, because it's a point of reference.
Yeah.
And you can be like, man, I did this. What am I talking about? When fear comes up, you can reference what you've already accomplished and achieved.
Yeah.
And then that adds fuel to the fire. So you don't really stop, or you won't, it's not like you're not going to be as motivated if you relish in your successes. You'll be more motivated. It's like, okay, what else can I do? What else can I accomplish? What else is there for me to do? So I do want you to do that, though. Like, sit in it, waddle in it, just sit in that thing, because you really did it. It's good.
Yeah, thank you. I have to get used to that, So it's been wonderful. So if you're watching right now, just to put a little plug in, if you want to earn a Christian degree to your name, Christian accredited degree, whether it's a bachelor's, a master's, or a doctorate degree, you can do that at Higher Place Christian University. You can go to myhigherplace.com and register. All right. So let's talk about what I want to talk about today. Which is the one thing that made us millionaires. Because a lot of people see us now, they see our successes, they see we own a successful tech company, valued at $30 million in under 3 years.
Vonza.com.
Shout out to Vonza.com, the sponsor of this show. So Vonza, all-in-one platform where you can create and sell courses and digital products and pretty much run your entire business on it too. So whether you want to do beyond courses and digital products, membership site, websites, scheduling, funnels, a bunch of other tools you need. So Vonza saves you at least $1,000 a month in cost of using all these different tools when you just pay just for one tool, and you can start a totally free account. So we have Vonza. We also own Higher Place Christian University. We also own the New Rich, which is also one of our new, thing right now, and a bunch of other businesses that we do. But people see that right now. They see us, in the Rolls Royces. They see us driving the Bentleys. They see us in a, beautiful home, and see us traveling the world and see our successes. And sometimes people wonder, and they ask me all the time. They say, okay, what's the number one thing that helped you guys to go from being poor and broke to becoming multimillionaires? Because some people have seen us when we're struggling. Yeah. They were seeing us where we barely could afford 2 plates of food when we went out to eat. They saw when we shared our story, or some of them were in our weddings. We couldn't afford anything in our weddings.
That's right. Wedding dress was $75, and that included $25 for dry cleaning. For dry cleaning,
and $50 we bought it on eBay. Shout out to eBay. We bought it for $50 for eBay. I bought my, my suit for like $100 or so from K&G. Shout out to K&G. And that was pretty much what we could afford. Yep. Our moms came together and just helped us to take care of the rest. And, things were like that. We're tough from 1-bedroom apartment, to where we are today. So when talking about the number one thing, so we've talked about this a little bit before we came online. The number one thing, there are several tools and tips and secrets that have helped us to become successful. But if we really think about it very critically, the number one thing will be the mindset.
Absolutely. Turning your knowledge into revenue is supposed to be a seamless experience, but you're stuck dealing with messy tech and the frustrations of tying multiple tools together just to create and sell online.
Using multiple platforms to run one business wastes a lot of time and money. With Vonza, simplify your online business and delight your customers. One platform to run your business effectively. Create courses. Sell products. Build websites. Sales funnels. Grow community. Coach clients. Send emails. Get paid. Finally, all the tools you need to turn your knowledge into a flourishing business. Vonza is so easy to use. Start your free trial now at Vonza.com. The best all-in-one business platform.
What are you going to say about that?
No, I mean, I could preach a whole sermon on it, to TBH. The mindset was the biggest thing. And the funniest thing is, and some people know us also too from, we were actively pastoring, would not miss a Sunday. And, we were still struggling. And I tell people all the time that having God is a strong, sure foundation. Absolutely. Yet you have to understand that God and all that he does for us is on the spiritual level. And you have dominion, power, and authority in the physical realm, the physical level. So when the Bible says, renew your mind daily with the word of God, it's, usually you'll be like, oh, okay. No, renew, like reprogram, restart that thing, reset that thing, intentionally decide what you're inputting into it, because whatever's inside of a man is what will come out of a man. So if you have fear, if you have doubt, if you procrastinate when it comes to executing the vision that God has in your life because you're concerned about other people's opinions and you don't want to take up space and you're so used to people doing you wrong and all these things are happening on the inside of you. This is and it manifests itself in your business, in how you show up at work, in how you carry yourself. And there's certain things that, yes, God has approved and he wants for you, but you will never see it if your mind ain't right.
Yeah.
Literally your mind has to be, there's been so many instances where there's stuff that I believe that God wanted for us maybe a year, 3 years before we actually laid our physical hands on it. But because the only reason why was because our mindset was holding us back. Correct. From that level, that acceleration, that increase that was really written out for us. It was all mindset, because you can talk yourself out of an opportunity. And it could be a God ordained, an angel comes down from heaven and says, this is an opportunity bestowed upon you by God Almighty. Right. And you will sit there, because if your mindset isn't right, talk yourself in a circle, all around it, and never take advantage of the opportunity. Wow. And then be crying to God. Oh, how come my life? Oh, how come this ain't happening? Oh, how come that ain't happening? I just sent you an opportunity. Yeah. But because your mindset did not shift, you did not reprogram it. Your identity is stuck in the past versus in the future version of yourself that God is wanting you to become, or that you're meant to be, that your purpose is calling you to. Those things miss you. Yeah. They pass you by. For me, that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, I like that too, because there are a lot of people that pray to God, asking for wealth, for resources, or working so hard, and then they wonder why they're not getting as much stuff back, and they think something is wrong with them. Maybe something is not wrong with you. Maybe it's your mindset.
It's your mindset.
Because if you have a poverty mindset, it's going to attract poverty to you. Yes. If you're thinking bad, you're thinking poor, you're hanging around poor people, hanging around broke people, you're not reading, you're not enlarging your mind, you're not trying new things, you're not expanding your mind, and you're just in that funk where you grew up, the same environment, the same people, that limits your mindset.
It does.
The mind is a muscle, right? So when we were poor, it was mostly because we're hanging around poor people.
Yeah.
Our thoughts were so consumed by what we see around us, which was poverty, right? But when we started shifting our mindset, when we started exposing our mind to new things, new people, new relationship, new experiences, things just began to change for us, right?
It did. They really did.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie? You liked it so much. We went out and we bought the DVD, Big Fish.
Big Fish, yeah. Big
That
Fish.
movie
We need to
was
watch that
good.
movie again.
We
Let's
need to
find
watch
it
it
on
again.
Netflix or Hulu or something.
I'm sure it's somewhere out there.
Yeah.
That movie was good.
It was so good. Ooh, yeah, I remember now.
And
Big
I
Fish.
feel like that movie, and you loved it. And I think
So
we
much.
watched it like 2 or 3
Couple
times.
of times, yeah.
And every time we watched it, we got something different from it.
Yeah.
But I think when we watched that movie, and that was, were we in Atlanta at that time?
Yeah.
Or we were in Arlington?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember where but I remember when we watched it though, I felt a shift within both of us. Like I felt like it was like a wake up call to us. Like, yeah, you're a big fish over here, because you're the biggest one in this pond that you're at. But how about you go over here to this lake?
Right.
You're not gonna be that big.
Right.
Right. And it was like almost like a pride ego thing. Like, but why would I go from where I'm at? Like, why would I leave this place where I've established myself? Because that establishment is the cap there. And like you had quoted on Sunday, John Maxwell's law of the lid, you can only go as big or as far as the lid that's over you. So when you move to the next pond, you may not be the biggest fish. There's other big fish there. There's big fish that are bigger than you.
Yeah.
But you can glean from those big fish, which will now cause you to increase in size as well.
Very, very true. I remember the movie now. And we need to.
You remember, all the scenes are showing up in my mind now.
We gotta watch it again. And when we watch it, let's do an episode to talk about it. Because I kind of forgot some parts and pieces of it because it's been a long time since we saw it. Yeah, it's been a really good movie, But I just want the New Rich Nation to just realize if you are not where you want to be financially, the number one thing you got to fix first is your mindset.
For sure.
It's not your sales. It's not your strategy. It's not your clientele. It's not your offer. It's not your course. It's not your membership. It's not none of those things. It's your mindset. Man. Because success starts on the inside of you, right? Your mind have to be rich first before your money can be rich. Your mind have to be expanded first before your bank account can expand. So when I look back from us struggling and, having financial issues to not living in financial abundance, but the one thing that changed was our mindset shifted.
Totally.
We went from just hoping that things work out for us financially. We went from just kind of so in tune with the lack around us to now just changing the way we think about life, changing the way we think about money, changing the way we think about opportunity. Just by changing the way we think alone, just began to set things in motion. So I want the New Rich Nation to understand too that you can literally think and grow rich. You can literally, you can, at least that's the foundation. You can literally just by changing your thinking process, by changing your exposure, by changing your experiences, you can change your bank account.
And you actually mentioned earlier a couple of things I think that were really meaningful to you that impacted you to help you shift your mindset. You just started naming some stuff off. But in changing your mindset, what do you feel like is one of the practices for you specifically that help you to really embrace the shift and the change that you needed to make?
Very good question. I think I'll just share 3, right? Okay. So number 1 was... Top three, yeah. Okay. I was number 1 was the knowledge, right? Because when I was hanging around people that their goal was $40,000 a year, that was what I hoped for because that was my environment, told me was possible, right? Then when I started hearing and seeing people talking about 6-figure days, 6-figure months, 6-figure years, then my thought, my thinking, my possibility began to expand as well, right? Right. So the knowledge, just knowing that I could earn more, just knowing that I could be more was one of those foundational things that just helped me to begin to think more, to dream for more so I can have more. So that knowledge was key. Then the second thing that helped my mindset from being poor and broke to becoming a multi-millionaire today was change of environment, right? We were living on the south side of Atlanta. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but the part we're living in, it was just, there's so many lack and poverty around us. So we were kind of like big fish in that kind of small ocean. I kind of look comfortable with that.
Right.
Then we moved to a different part of town where we live now, where it's more affluent, where there's more wealth, more resources. It just shifted us, so we're no longer comfortable being the big fish in small ocean. So we kind of felt like a little fish. I remember, I kind of was feeling some imposter syndrome initially when we moved in because it was just new and weird to me.
Yes.
But
he blamed me for this situation and circumstance.
Yeah, that'll be for another podcast because that's a full story on that, Yeah, but I do appreciate you, and I always tell you too that, I really owe, much of my success to you because you really just helped to guide me. There'll be times where I'll be so afraid or scared or just so overwhelmed by the pressure or what's going on. Just have a way to just kind of help me to see bigger, to see further, to take that step of faith, And there's been so many key decisions that have helped us financially that at first I almost didn't want to do. But you pushed me and said, do it. And it was just amazing.
And I know this is the next one that you have is 3. But before we get there, I want to just say this, that if I step outside of us, just step outside of myself and really look at us and analyze us, I think we're like a great, the perfect match in the sense of you are the big picture thinker. You are the big visionaire. And you say that, and that's weird to me hearing you say, if I was scared to do something or if I had hesitation, because I feel like you don't hesitate to do anything. You're always doing something. That's how I feel. But of course you're human. So yeah. But you're the big picture thinker. You're the visionary. You're the one that sees the potential in certain things, whereas I'm the one that sees the details.
Yeah.
I can catch your vision and that's cool, but I'm always okay, did you consider this? What about this? Now, if we look at this, and I analyze stuff, and I remember you said the other day, I didn't know you liked data so much. And I do, because I feel anyway, not to even get into all of that, but for you to say that tells me that you're not really into the data. You're into the end goal, the end result.
Yeah. How
big this thing could be. So having 2 visionaries might be a little daunting.
It will be.
Right?
And that's why some couples, they get into financial trouble because everybody just, the big thinker, nobody's looking at the details.
At the details.
And then when they crash together.
Yeah, because they don't have a detailed person
or the balanced person.
You're the balanced in their circle but between us, we have that balance, which also lends itself to some difficulty because I see what I see, you see what you see, and we literally have to put our pride aside, and then it comes together and we're like, that's what it is. So that's a good thing. And I love that we always say, don't do life alone. Yeah. Because I think the opposite of us really comes together to see something really big actually come to fruition.
And I do, and the older I get, the more I appreciate that too. Yeah, because at first, when just growing up, I never had my father growing up, so I never had that kind of mental frame of how that works in a marriage relationship. All I saw was men that were pretty much like dictators. They decide what they want to do, and that's it. The input of a woman was not required or allowed.
And that was cultural too.
It was cultural, yeah. So I grew up like that. So at first, I didn't kind of know how to understand that. But then I just began to trust you more and understand you more and see your strengths more and just kind of relax more and just kind of humble myself more, let go of my ego more. Then I'm beginning to learn how to receive more from you. and for us to work well together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So can I finish
So
now?
number 3, yeah, I thought that was really interesting though.
Yeah. So number 1 was the knowledge.
Yes.
Right. Number 2 was the environment. You got to change your environment if you want to develop a millionaire mindset. Right. If you're hanging around poor, broke people, you got to move away from there. Number 3 was the exposure. And this is something you have to do intentionally. I started exposing myself to books, to podcasts, to masterminds, to coaches, and to training programs, and to events that where people I wanted to be like were there. There's something about when you expose your mind. The mind's like a muscle. When you enlarge it, it can't get back to that part it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, so when you expose your mind to wealth, it can't think poor anymore. It has no other option but to attract wealth. The same way, if you expose your mind to poverty, no matter how rich you are, you're going to lose it. That's why people, they make millions of dollars in a lottery.
Yes.
And they lose it because
lose it in
their
3 to 5 years.
mindset is still stuck with lack and brokenness.
Yep.
Right? So you got to, Rich Friends, New Rich Nation, you got to be intentional to expose yourself.
Yeah.
You know, go to that house that you cannot afford yet, and go to that, you know, car dealership that, and sit in that car you cannot afford yet. Expose your mind to it. Expose your mind to areas. I mean, the area we live in now, years ago, I literally said it. I don't know if you remember, even to you. I even said to myself, even when you're not around, that we can never live here. It's too expensive. I told myself that, and that limited my mindset too.
Yes.
Right? But what I did that helped was that we were doing some staycations there, which means it's the same city. We just go to that part of town. We rent the cheapest hotel we can find at the time. We just rent the cheapest hotel we can find, and we just stay right there and just staying there, you know, and begin to expose our mind, our consciousness to the new environment. Then things just began to shift.
And if you remember, when we finally moved to our house, I think I wanted to find a Barnes & Noble or something. And we got there, or either we're going to Barnes & Noble or we're going to Chili's, because it was like right across the street from each other. And I screamed when we got into the parking lot, and I was like, we've been here.
Yeah.
We didn't even realize that we had literally moved into the same environment that we were having the staycations at.
Yeah.
Because even though you were saying that to yourself, I was saying, one day I'm going to live up here.
Wow.
One day I won't come here on vacation. This is what I do on the weekend.
Wow.
Like, that's what I was saying to myself. And when it finally happened, I was like, we've been here.
Yeah.
And all the kids were like, okay, Mom. Like, it was just really hilarious how that just came to pass the way that it did. We were oblivious to the fact that that area was where we were having our staycations until we went there, and we were physically there, and we had moved into that the area. So that was really cool. You know, when we talk about these things, it's so funny to me because it's like, wow, like things can actually move, things can actually shift.
Yes.
You know, and you said your top 3 are knowledge, environment,
and exposure. Yeah. That's top 3.
That is so good.
Yeah. And if anybody would do that, their mindset would shift.
That's
and
they'll
they'll become multimillionaires too, like we. Go ahead.
I remember when you decided, I wasn't there when you decided that you were going to get your first Benz. You were in, was it Maryland?
Yes, I was in Maryland. I went to speak for a pastor friend of mine.
Yes. And you said that he came and he picked you up in a white
430 Mercedes.
Mercedes. And he said when he got into the Mercedes, he tapped into it and was like, I'm getting a Mercedes.
I am.
Now, this is what he was doing in a whole nother state because I was not there. But when you came back and you told me the story, I was literally like, that's great, babe. But inside I was like, another thing, you know? But I always understood the power of when you expose yourself to something and it enters into you. Like now it's a part of your DNA coding. Like it has no choice but to show up. And since then, you remember how many Mercedes you've had since then?
Woo, I've had a few Mercedes because I have a car problem. I get bored with cars quickly. I like them for 6 months. After 6 months, I want something else. So I've gone through a few Mercedes, Bentleys, Rolls Royces. It's just a car problem thing I have,
That is definitely a thing.
Yeah, but it does work though, and that's
works.
what we want the New Rich Nation to really understand. It does work once you work on that mindset, once you, move, once you, change your exposure. You got to invest in yourself.
Yes.
A lot of people are so scared to invest money in
Yes.
books, in podcasts, in events, coaching, mastermind. You have to find a coach, find a mentor, read books, podcasts, Audible, whatever, YouTube, right?
The right videos on YouTube.
So find things that will expose your mind. Okay.
Yeah, we even had recently an instance where someone wanted to do have coaching with you, and she was saying that she was really fearful and she just didn't want to quote unquote waste money on the coaching if it doesn't work out, like the last program that she had gotten into. And I kind of went off on her. I did, because I said, you can never waste when you are investing in yourself. And when I say investing, I'm talking about your inner man, your inner self, because whoever you are on the inside, it always shows.
Yeah.
It always reflects. So even if maybe the goal that you envisioned when you first did that coaching program or that course or what have you didn't materialize the way that you thought it was, it's not a waste. You cannot waste when you invest in yourself. Same thing with the university. MLK said that. No, it doesn't matter what anyone tries to take away from me. They can never take away what's in here.
Yeah.
And that is the whole key to mindset. Once we became millionaires on the inside,
Yes.
we were already millionaires.
Yeah.
Now, don't go look at our bank account. The bank account was not reflecting.
Right.
But on the inside, we were
Yes, because that's where
millionaires.
it always starts
It
from.
always.
The inside.
It's the invisible stuff that makes the visible stuff. So when we said on the inside, we are millionaires. Oh yeah, we're hey millionaire. Hey babe. Hey millionaire. And we started just operating from that place.
Yeah.
It was literally a matter of time before it showed up tangibly, physically in our lives.
Awesome.
Mindset.
Okay, we're going to wrap this episode up on mindset. The number one thing that made multimillionaires was changing our mindset. So anything else you want to end with to share with our New Rich Nation family?
Absolutely. You are a millionaire on the inside first before you're a millionaire on the outside. Own it. Walk in it. It's who you are. And you will see it very, very soon.
Awesome. So if you love what you just heard, and don't let it be your last time here, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And we're going to bring you another topic in the next episode. So bye, New Rich Nation.
See you in the next video, New Rich Nation.
All the time.